Knock it off, pisshead!
What's a complaint, dumb Carney?
In your mother's hair, Calm
down,
Let's leave.
It was my 4th day in the army, and so far, I hated everyone. We were on a filthy train, riding from Fort Dix, New Jersey, to Biloxi, Mississippi, and in 3 days, nobody washed. The aroma was murder. We were supposed to be fighting Germany and Japan, but instead, we're stinking up America.
Where the hell are we? Hey, Shakespeare. Where the hell are we?
West Virginia.
West Virginia, no shit. Where's that mean?
You don't know where West Virginia is? Didn't you ever take geography?
I was sick that day. Well, like a dumbass.
Well, you don't know what part of the country it's in?
Yeah. Up here!
Hey,
up yours,
Roy Selridge of Schenectady, New York, smelled like a tuna fish sandwich left out in the rain. He thought he had a terrific sense of humor, but it was really hard to laugh at a guy who had cavities in 19 out of 32 teeth.
Fucking hell, seriously? Seriously, who the hell farted? Oh my god. I need a freaking gas mask. I'm sure Shakespeare, are you writing this down in your diary? Major fart in West Virginia.
Hey, sister, it's not my diary, it's my journal.
It's my journal.
Whether it's your journal or your diary, you don't even have to write it down. It'll stay in your book forever.
Joseph Wykowski of Bridgeport, Connecticut, had 2 interesting characteristics. He had a stomach of a goat and could eat anything. His favorite were Hershey bars, with the wrapper still on them. The other peculiar trait was that he had a permanent erection. I'm talking night and day, during the marching or sleeping. There's no explaining this phenomenon unless he had a unique form of paralysis.
Oh, we ain't got a barrel.
Oh my god. Wake him up, wake him up.
Oh, what the hell was that for?
It's 3:02 in the goddamn morning. You were singing again.
I was not.
What do you mean you was not? You practically made a record.
All right, what was I singing?
Side by side.
I don't even know the lyrics to Side by Side.
Yeah, well maybe not awake, but you sure know when you're asleep.
Gene, was I singing Side by Side?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was I good?
No.
Well, for a guy who wasn't awake, it wasn't that bad.
Damn! I wish I heard it. I wish I did it. Suck it.
Donald Carney of Montclair, New Jersey, was an okay guy until somebody made the fatal mistake of telling him he sounded like Perry Como. His voice was flat, but his sister was not. She had the biggest breast I ever saw. She came to visit him in Fort Dix wearing a tight sweater, and that's when I first discovered Wykowski's condition.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Carney, did you let one go?
I was singing, wasn't I? You think I'd let one go while I'm singing?
Well, maybe you were singing to cover it up. I think it's coming from up there. Hey, Bombardier killed Germans, not GIs.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well.
Yeah, well, now we're all not feeling well.
Yeah!
Just leave him alone. He didn't do it on purpose. It's
Hey,
fine.
hey, Epstein, you hear that? He's your buddy, and the next one I him.
Hey!
Hey, does anyone have an Alka-Seltzer tablet?
I'm sorry, plugging it up ain't gonna help. Yes.
Arnold Epstein of Queens Boulevard, New York, was a sensitive, well-read, intelligent young man. His major flaw was that he was incapable of digesting food stronger than hard-boiled eggs. I didn't think he'd last long in the army because during wartime, it's really hard to go back home for dinner every night. Hey, Arnold.
What?
What's the best book you ever read?
Oh, War and Peace in Latin.
If I were to become a writer, what would you recommend I read? Oh.
Probably the entire third floor of the New York Public
Three! Hey, Epstein, can you read lips up? Hey, read this.
Hey! If the Germans only knew what was coming over, they'll be looking forward to this invasion. I'm Eugene Morris Jerome, Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, New York. And you can tell I've never been away from home before. In my duffel bag are 12 pot roast sandwiches my mother gave me. There were 3 things I was determined to do in this war: become a writer, lose my virginity, and not get killed. But first, I had to get through basic training in the murky swamps of Mississippi with these guys. Oh.
Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money, maybe we're ragged and fighting, but we're traveling along, singing our song, side by side. Don't know what's coming tomorrow, maybe it's trouble and sorrow, but we'll travel the road, sharing our load, side by side.
Guys. God, it's hot. This is hot. I'm really hot. Oh, God, it's hot.
All right, well, hotness, you can
Hey,
off up here.
Wykowski.
This is my bunk down here, all right?
Oh, I'm so tired, I'm just gonna sleep on the springs.
It never got this hot in Brooklyn. This is like Africa hot.
Oh, we
Tarzan.
Shut
did
up!
it! It's
hot.
fucking hot!
That's hot.
phone. Somebody call the manager. There's no ice water. That's so hot.
Detail attention.
Hi, Sarge.
I think it's in your best interest, man, to move your asses when I say attention. Move it! I want a single line right here. Until the order at ease is given, gentlemen, you are not at ease. Hey, hey! At ease. That's when your name is called. The answer to that question is hope. Not yes, not here, not right, not sir, or any other unacceptable form of reply except the aforementioned hope. Am I understood? Wykowski, Joseph, T, hope. Selridge, Roy, W, hope. Carney, Donald, J, hope. Jerome, Eugene, M, hope. Epstein, Arnold, B, hope. Are there 2 Arnold Epsteins in this company?
No, Sergeant.
Then just give me one goddamn hope.
Yes, Sergeant.
Epstein, Arnold, B.
Hope.
Let me hear it again.
Hope.
One more time.
Hope.
Am I understood?
Hope.
Arnold Epstein was the worst soldier in World War II, which included the deserters. He just refused to show respect to those he thought were his intellectual inferiors.
My name is Toomey, Sergeant Merwin J. Toomey, and I'm in charge of Charlie Company for the next 10 weeks of your basic training here in beautiful Biloxi, Mississippi. After which, those of you who survive the heat, humidity, roaches, spiders, snakes, dry rot, fungus, dysentery, syphilis, gonorrhea, and tick fever will be sent off to some shit island in the Pacific, or some third pile in northern Sicily. In either case, returning to your mamas and papas with your balls intact is highly improbable. There's only one way to come out of war, healthy of body and sane of mind, and that way is to be born the favorite daughter of the President of the United States. I speak from experience, having served 14 months in the North African campaign, where 73% of my comrades are buried under the sand of the Arab Desert. Now, these colorful ribbons on my chest testify to the fact that my government is grateful for my contribution, having donated a small portion of my brains to this conflict. The other portion, protected by a heavy steel plate in my head. Now this injury's caused me to be a smart, compassionate, understanding leader of raw young men. Or it's made me the craziest, cruelest, most sadistic, goddamn son of a bitch you ever saw. Do I make myself clear, Epstein?
I think so.
Do I make myself clear, Epstein? Ho! Do I make myself clear, Jerome?
Yes, ho. No, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Hey, ho.
You're goddamn right, boy.
I hated the lousy movies. I thought I was going to get a nice officer like Jimmy Stewart.
You paying attention to me, Jerome?
Yes, ho. No, ho. Ho.
Where you from, Jerome?
1427 Pulaski Avenue.
My 12 years in the Army, I never met one goddamn dogface from 1427 Pulaski Avenue. Why is that, Jerome?
Because it's my home. Only one family lives there. Oh, no. I lived in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, New York. Sir.
Hey, Fred Astaire. Trying to tell me something?
I have to go to the bathroom, Sergeant.
Now, how you gonna do that? We don't have any bathrooms in the Army.
They had them in Fort Dix.
Now, bathrooms they didn't.
Yes, they did. I went in them a lot.
Well, I'm telling you, we don't have any bathrooms at this base. You doubt my veracity?
Nope.
You got a problem, don't you, Epstein?
Ho.
Bet your ass, ho-ho. Do you know why you got a problem, Epstein?
Because I have to go real bad.
No, son. You got a problem because you don't understand Army terminology. The place a U.S. soldier goes to defecate, relieve himself, open his bowels, shit, fart, crap, dump, and unload is called the latrine. Latrine! You want to tell us what's funny about that, Jerome?
Well, that you said all those words in one sentence. Shit, fart, crap, dump.
I ain't put these ribbons on my shirt. I'm an experienced Army man. Do you understand that, Jerome?
Huh?
What?
Oh!
Where are you from, Wykowski?
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
You know where that is, Selridge?
Connecticut. Bridgeport, I think.
Is that right, Wykowski?
Oh,
And what did you do in Bridgeport, soldier?
I was never there, Sergeant.
I wasn't talking to you, Selridge.
But you're staring right at me, Sergeant.
I may be looking at you, but I'm talking to the soldier from Bridgeport. Now, what did you do there, Wykowski?
I was a truck driver, a moving van driver. I moved furniture.
Good grief, that's just what the Army needs in the South Pacific, Wykowski. Someone to move furniture around in the jungle. I believe Private Epstein has a question.
May I go to the latrine, sir?
No, you may not. I'm addressing the new members of my company. What's your name again, soldier?
Wykowski.
Talking to the man next to you.
Selridge.
You, boy! You the one I'm addressing my question to.
Carney, sir. Donald Jacob. Ho!
I didn't ask if you were here. I can see that you're here, Private Carney. I asked where you're from.
I don't remember. Montclair, New Jersey.
And what was your civilian occupation in Montclair, New Jersey, Private Carney?
I didn't have any.
No occupation. You were unemployed then, is that right?
No, Sergeant. I worked in a shoe store in the stockroom.
Did I not just hear you say you had no occupation?
Not in Montclair. I lived in Montclair. I worked in Teaneck. You just asked what my occupation was in Montclair.
I see. Is it your intention, Private Carney, to ridicule and humiliate me in front of my company?
No, Sergeant.
And yet that is precisely what you did. As I stand here in front of my newly formed company, you took this opportunity, assuming because of my southern heritage I was an uneducated and an illiterate cotton picker. You purposefully and deliberately humiliated me. Did you think for 1 second you would get away with that, Private Carney Donald J?
I didn't mean to.
Well, I can assure you, you did not, and will not. You want your ass in a sling?
No, sir. My ass is fine.
Well, you got your ass in a sling, boy. Does everyone understand that?
Oh.
What?
Oh!
I am, strictly speaking, Carney, old Army. And old Army means discipline. Can you do push-ups, Private Carney?
Yes, Sergeant.
What is the highest number of push-ups you ever achieved in one session, Private Carney?
I'm not too strong in the arms. About 10, maybe 15.
Congratulations, Carney. You're about to break your old record. I want 100 push-ups from you, Carney, and I want them now.
100? Ooh, I don't think I could possibly do 100.
On your face, Carney!
How about 20 a day for 5 days?
Move your ass, goddamn! I hear 100.
6, 7. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. 9.
8. You forgot 8, didn't you, boy?
No, I didn't. I just didn't say it.
Well, say them all, Donnie boy. Let's start again from 1. Count 'em.
1.
Private Jerome. 2. Do you think this is cruel, unfair, and unjust punishment being inflicted on Private Carney?
Oh, gee, I don't know. It's my first day.
Want the God Almighty truth from you. Am I being unfair and unjust, Private Jerome?
7.
If I only had a bone spur, I wouldn't be in this trouble.
Your answer, boy.
Well, I think it's just a misunderstanding, sir. I think I have small favor.
Yes or no, Jerome? Am I being unfair to the young man breaking his ass on the floor?
In my opinion, yes, Sergeant.
I see. Apparently, Jerome, you don't understand the benefits of discipline. It is discipline that will win this war for us. Therefore, until you learn it, I'm just gonna have to keep teaching it to you. Selridge!
Whoa!
100 push-ups.
Whoa!
Hit the floor.
I didn't see nothing, Sergeant.
When we do battle, we are sometimes called upon to sacrifice ourselves for the sake of others.
Yes, Sergeant, but we're not doing battle
Are you What I've done to Private Selridge may seem even more unfair and unjust than what I've done to Private Carney.
16.
Have your opinion, Jerome?
No, Sergeant.
Hold it, boys! You all heard that. Private Jerome approves of my method of discipline. He thinks what I'm doing is fair, moral, and just. Therefore, with his approval and endorsement, Private Wykowski will join us on the floor for 100 push-ups. Hit the deck, Wykowski. I can see how grateful you are. You can thank your buddy, Private Jerome.
I will. Later.
Oh, 23, 21, 22. I don't think I can do any more, Sergeant. 23.
I realize that, son, and I sympathize with you. If only there was something I could do to help you.
I can finish for him, sir.
Well, that's damn decent of you, Jerome, but I don't think Private Carney expects other men to shoulder his responsibility.
I'd be willing to make an exception, Sergeant. 26.
What I think you need, Carney, is inspiration. Therefore, I'm asking for volunteers to join Private Carney, Private Wykowski, and Selridge on the barracks floor. All volunteers take one step forward and shout ho. Sound off! Ho! We have one volunteer, one inconclusive. I take it by your silence, Private Epstein, you are not volunteering.
Actually, sir, I have a slight deformity of the spine.
On your face, Epstein! Count off! Now we're moving ahead in our quest for discipline. As the sweat pours off your brow, your puny muscles strain to lift those flat, chubby, jelly bodies.
31.
Thinking Private Jerome in Brighton Beach, New York, who is not down there beside you, not sharing your pain, not sharing your struggle. Fate always chooses someone to get a free ride, the kind of man who gets away with all kinds of shit. And this company seems to be Private Eugene M. Jerome. Eventually, we learn to hate these men. Hate them, slow them, and despise them. And how does Private Jerome learn to deal with this cold ball of anger and hostility? By learning to endure it alone. That, gentlemen, is the supreme lesson in discipline. You're slowing down, boys. The sooner you finish, the sooner you get some of our fine southern cooking. Up!
38.
Down. Up!
39.
Down. Carry on instructions, Jerome. Up!
41.
Down.
82.
It was then I decided I had to get out of the army. I thought about shooting a part of my body I might not need in later life, but I couldn't find any. And the worst was yet to come. Up!
45.
Down! Up!
46.
I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry.
Make up your mind.
Up!
Fine Southern cooking. What do you think this is?
My brother had this in the Marines. I think he called it SOS.
What's SOS?
Shit on a shingle.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, all right.
What do you mean? You take a shingle and you put shit on it? No, dumbass, it's beef. Cream, shit, beef.
Why would you cream something after it's been chipped?
Alright, well, it doesn't even look that bad to me. I mean, after all the push-ups we did today.
Huh?
I'm kinda hungry.
No. No. Oh! Oh!
Are you kidding me?
No, you're not bad. I only need you.
You're fucking disgusting.
No. Oh! Theon dropped this shit over Germany. The whole country will come out with their hands up.
Oh yes, I surrender!
I saw stuff like this in the Bronx Zoo once. The gorillas were throwing it at each other.
No, if you can't eat this, you can get something else. And this man is supposed to be served palatable food.
Why did you ask him for some matzo ball soup, Epstein? I think the army makes great matzo ball soup.
Yeah, it's my right to speak up. I'm gonna speak to the sergeant.
No, sit down, would you please?
What's the matter with him, Arnold? He's crazy. This is probably his recipe.
Look, Epstein. Do not give the sergeant any more shit. Because when he doesn't like you, he doesn't like the rest of us. And any guy who screws up this platoon is in deep shit with me, alright?
Who made you Lieutenant Colonel?
I did. I promoted myself. And if I have to do any more push-ups on account of you, fruit, you're gonna be underneath me when I'm doing it.
Underneath that.
Hey, now we know who the fruits are.
Yeah. Look, I'm not even supposed to be in the army with my stomach. I'm not gonna eat this if I don't want to.
You guys hear what happened over in Bacon Company? Some kid went nuts. Said he was going home. Didn't want no part of this army. Officer tries to stop him. The kid belts him once. Broke the captain's nose. They say this kid's sure to do 5 to 10 years in Leavenworth. They don't crap around in the army. Find that out real fast. I hope they ship us out to the Pacific. At least we get chow mein and fortune cookies.
Hey, my name's Hennessy. I'm in your platoon. They gave me 8 straight days of KP.
How come?
I left over 2 spoonfuls of barley soup. 2 fucking spoonfuls. Be careful, you guys.
How my boys doing? First rate, Clark. How's the job?
Great.
Hardly usually food are.
Not hungry, Epstein?
I find enough nourishment in bread and water, sir.
Well, you're gonna need plenty of nourishment with 10 back-breaking weeks ahead of us, starting tonight.
Tonight?
Worked out a little surprise for you boys. Something to work off tonight's dinner. We're going on a midnight hike, man.
Midnight?
Nothing too far, this being your first night in camp. Just a short 15-mile walk around the marshes and swamps. What do you think, Jerome? You think that's a reasonable request of me to make?
We sort of elected Wykowski our leader, right? I think he should answer that.
Right.
Well, Sarge, like my friend said, I don't question orders, I just follow.
You're begging to see it, Captain. It's a good answer. It's a chicken shit one, but it's a good answer. Okay, Epstein, what about you? You up for a 15-mile walk around the marshes and swamps?
Nope.
Nope. Epstein's not up to it, man. Why is that, Epstein?
We've been on a train for 5 days and 5 nights, sir. We haven't had one good night's sleep since we left Fort Dix.
I see. Okay, fair enough, Epstein. You're excused from tonight's hike.
Thank you.
You'll get a good night's sleep just as soon as you wash, scrub, shine every giant urinal and basin in the latrine. If it doesn't sparkle when we get back, then Wykowski and Selridge are gonna do 200 push-ups. That'll put you in good with the boys. Anyone else care to stay home for the evening? Okay then. Let's get moving. Full field packs in front of the barracks in 2,400 hours. Ready to march. Let's get cracking. Hold on just a goddamn minute. Nobody leaves here with good U.S. Army chow untouched, uneaten, and unfinished. You can sit there poking at it with your fork till the sprouts sweet, but by God, you're gonna sit there until that tray is empty. Line up in front of me, trays extended for inspection. Wykowski, move. Right, Selridge, beat it. Something wrong with your dinner, Carney?
Yes, Sarge. It was the first food I was ever afraid of.
You'll like it in about a month from now, because that's how long you're going to be sitting. Back to your seat.
Yes, Sarge.
Don't approve of our cuisine, Jerome?
It's not that, Sarge. It's a religious objection. This is the week my people fast for 2 days.
This is March, Jerome. Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur until September. I've got an all-religion calendar in my barracks room. Don't you try that shit on me again.
It's a different holiday. It's called El Malagueña. It's for Spanish Jews.
Carney!
Yes, Sergeant.
Get over here! Put half your tray on the Jerome.
Yes, Sergeant.
Eating good health, Jerome. Happy El Malagueña to you. Okay, Epstein, what's your story? Don't tell me today is La Cucaracha.
I have a legitimate excuse, Sarge. I have a disorder diagnosed as nervous stomach.
Is that right? How come you passed the Army medical examination?
Oh, it only gets nervous while I'm eating food. I wasn't eating during the examination. However, I did bring a chicken salad sandwich along the way to show them what happened.
Are you a psycho, Epstein? You sound like a psycho. That's a psycho story.
I have a letter from my internist who works on the staff at Mount Sinai Hospital on 5th Avenue.
Did you show this letter to the Army medical examining officer?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said don't eat chicken salad sandwiches, and then he accepted me.
Then this letter, it isn't worth the paper it's written on. I want everything on this tray gone, Epstein, including the letter. The corporal at the door will be watching you. Good appetite, man. El Malagueña. Olé!
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 Guys, I have an idea.
Yep.
Let's just dump our food under the table. We'll be gone before they find it.
Great idea, but we have to do it when no one's looking.
Okay, I'll tell you guys when.
Remember, timing's everything.
God bless America.
No.
Okay. Now!
Work on your timing!
Give it to me.
What?
I'm not gonna eat mine. No point in making all of us suffer. Go on, script onto my tray.
You mean that?
Yes. This is lunacy. Look, I'm an intelligent human being. I refuse to capitulate to these lunatics. One day when this war is over, there will be investigations. Go on, script it onto my tray.
I like you, Epstein, but you're weird as hell. I'll tell you one thing, though. I'm sitting next to you every meal we get.
I should have used you. My mother made lima beans.
I won't eat slop. I won't eat slop. I won't eat slop. Oh my God, I won't eat the slop.
Arnold did not eat the slop. They gave him KP for 5 straight days, including cleaning the latrines. But that was better than the midnight march through the murky swamps of Mississippi. The only time I heard strange sounds like that was at Eppett's Field, when the Dodgers played. Anyway, Toomey made Wykowski carry me the whole 15 miles so that Wykowski would hate me more. But maybe Toomey was right. If nobody obeyed orders, I bet we wouldn't have more than 12 to 13 soldiers fighting the war. Oh, we had headlines like, Corporal Stanley Lieberman invades Sicily. Oh, God. Okay, Arnold. Arnold, you missed it. It was incredible. We were in the swamps up to our necks. There were water snakes and big lizards that will crawl up your pants and big ugly birds that will went straight for your eyeballs. It was so crazy. Hey, Arnold, what's wrong?
Just leave me alone.
What is it? Are you sick?
Don't get away from me.
Hey,
You're like the rest of them. I hate every goddamn one of you.
wait, hey, Arnold. I'm your friend. I'm your buddy. You can talk to me.
I'm getting out in the morning. I'm gonna go to Central America or Mexico till after the war. I'm not gonna be treated like dirt, like some maggot. And I'm not gonna help defend a country that won't even defend people like me, like us. Fucking bastards.
What, because you pulled latrine duty? Buddy, we all have to pull latrine duty. It's all a game, Arnold. You just have to adjust. Except it's their ball and their rules, and they've been playing it since Valley Forge.
I was in the latrine alone. I spent 4 hours cleaning it on my hands and knees. I mean, it looked cleaner than my mother's kitchen at home. Then these two non-coms come in. One was the cook, that 300-pound guy, and some other slob with cigar butts in their mouths, reeking from beer. They come in to pee, only instead of using one of the urinals, they use one of the johns. Both peeing in the same one, making circles, figure eights. Then they start to walk out, and so I say, hey, I just cleaned that, please flush the johns. The big one, he says to me, up your ass, rookie, or some other really clever remark. And so I block the doorway, I say, there's a printed order on the wall signed by Captain Landon stating the regulations that all facilities must be flushed after using. And I'm requesting that they follow regulations since I was left in charge and to please flush the facility. The big one, he says to me, suppose you flush it, New York Jukike? And I said, my ethnic heritage notwithstanding, I said, please flush the facility. They look at each other, this half a ton of brainless beef, and they suddenly rush me. They grab me by my ankles, they turn me upside down, and they lowered me by my feet with my head in the toilet, and their filth, their poison, all the way until I couldn't breathe. And then they pulled off my belt, they tied it to the ceiling pipes with my head still in the toilet. And they tied my hand around my back with dirty rags, and they left me there hanging like some pig that was going to be slaughtered or something. I couldn't fight back, I couldn't do it alone. No one came in to help me. And then the pipe broke and it fell to the ground. It took me 20 minutes to get myself untied. 20 minutes! So it took me the rest of my life to wash off my humiliation. I was degraded. Lost my dignity. If I stage you, I swear to God, if someone puts a gun in my hands, one night I'll fucking kill them. Well, I'm not a murderer. I don't want to disgrace my family. But I have to get out of here now. Do you understand why, Gene?
But you can't go AWOL. Buddy, they're gonna catch you. They have agents all over the world. You'll get back at them one day, okay? Don't you believe in justice?
You're so damn naive, Eugene.
I have got 112 goddamn mosquito bites all over my freaking body. Jesus.
I pulled 10 leeches off my body. I even pulled it off near my crotch. It wasn't a leech. Maybe I put something else off.
Yeah, I heard it's about the same size.
Hey, guys, I heard some top secret information today, but I'm not supposed to repeat it. What is it? I could get in trouble if it gets out. Just saying, nobody's gonna care.
Yeah, what is it, Carney?
I hear they're getting ready to invade Europe and Japan on the same day.
Where'd you hear that?
On the radio. It was one of those small
radio.
stations.
The radio, great source, buddy.
Why on the same day?
Surprise attack. You hit them both at dawn. They don't have enough time to warn each other.
Hey, Carney. When it's dawn in Europe, it's a day later in Japan. They don't have dawn at the same time.
Oh.
Japan should be reading about it in their newspaper.
Besides, we're not ready. We don't have enough trained men to invade both places on the same day.
We got two.
Do you know what Time Magazine estimates the casualty rate of a full-scale invasion would be? 68%. 68% of us would get killed or wounded.
Shit. Well, out of this platoon, how many is that?
Out of the 6 of us here, about 4.3 of us would get it.
What part of your body is 0.3?
Hey, Wykowski, we know part of your body's 0.3.
Shut up, leeches.
Guys, wait, listen to this. If you guys knew you were one of the guys who wasn't coming back, if you knew it right now, what would you do with your last days on Earth? It could be anything you want. I give everyone 5 seconds to think about it.
I thought about it. I'm not dying. You think I'm gonna kill myself to entertain you?
Why not? It's like a fantasy. I'm giving you the opportunity to do whatever you want in the world. Come on.
I think it's a good idea. Let's play for money.
For money?
Yeah, $5 a man. The guy with the best fantasy collects the pot.
It's kind of morbid.
Ah, you're morbid.
Hey, wait, don't we need a judge?
I'll be the judge.
Like you.
Just I thought of the game. Ante up, everybody. Come on. Hennessy? All right. Arnold, come on, play.
I'm not gonna sell my fantasy.
Burn his bong.
Yeah.
Come on, Arnold. Or me.
Come on, Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah! Here we go.
I'm gonna win all your money. Woo-hoo-hoo.
All right. Carney, you're first. You're dead.
Sounds about
Killed
right.
in action.
Alright,
What would you do with your last days on Earth?
how long do I have to do it in?
A week.
I need 10 days.
You only get a week. It's my game. What would you do with it, Donnie?
Okay.
Oh.
I would sing at the Radio City Music Hall. 5 shows a day, my own spots. Guys, I'm talking in the audience. It's 4,000 girls.
Okay.
All of them are gorgeous. I'm talking 38, 24,
That's right.
and 36. And they all want me real bad.
Sure.
But there's one man.
Sounds about right. Who's the man?
The president of Decca Records. He wants me real bad too, of course. After my last show, I get an offer. All 4,000 girls or a record contract with Decca.
Which one do you take? I would take the record. I would totally take the record.
So which goes record
Yeah.
contract? Right, I take the record contract.
You fucking idiot! You could have pumped 4,000 girls, and now you got a record contract that ain't worth shit.
Wrong. I'm a big star now, and big stars get all the girls they want.
Yeah, how? You're dead. Girls never go out with dead record stars.
Bullshit.
They want to.
I paid $5 for my fantasy. What's my score, Gene?
Well, you started with an A-, but you ended with a B.
B. Huh. Better than I ever did in high school.
Yeah,
Selridge, you go?
Okay.
Let's go.
Alright,
Come on.
let's do this, okay. So I make it with these 7 richest girls in the world, and I'm so hot, each thing gives me $1 million. So at the end of the week, I got $7 million. Woo! Pretty good, yeah? You're an idiot.
If you're dead, what would you do with $7 million?
See, that's why I said I need 10 days. So I have a long weekend to spend the money.
Like,
Give up, suckers! I got your beat!
Moronic. It's beyond moronic. It's submoronic.
It's fucking submoronic.
Alright, Jerome, break their hearts and tell them my school.
it lacks poetry. I give Selridge a B.
You give me a B? That creep has a record contract that ain't worth shit, and he gets a B. I want my
Hey! Ooh, touch that money and you dead, Selridge.
Uh-oh.
Took your money when you did, Selridge. I was just kidding. You think I was serious? I was just kidding. Who's next?
Hennessy,
What?
it's your turn.
Oh, I can't think
Come
of
on,
anything. No, I'm not
just
really that good at
say
this.
it.
He can't think of anything, so he's out. Okay, wait, fine. I'd spend it with my family. Oh my God. I'd spend it with my family. It's my last days. I can spend them however I want. I'd like it to be with my family.
It's my last days. I spend it however I want. I want it to be with my
Would
family.
you rather it be with your family, Carney?
I'll
Oh,
say
same All right, Jerome. What do you give him for that crap?
It's not interesting, but at least it's honest. B plus.
Okay, this game is fixed. I'm calling the military police. I ain't giving beat with that guy. I mean, I came up with something hot. I'm screwing 7 million arrests, and he gets to go home to his mother. I changed my answer. I want to go to the hospital and visit sick children.
Kowski, you're next.
Come on, Kowski. Some of us are right here. Come on.
I've always wanted to make it.
Oh,
For the world famous woman. Didn't matter if she was beautiful or not. As long as I was the only one around.
Oh, you got anyone in mind?
Have I got someone in mind?
Who's the woman?
The Queen of England!
The Queen of England.
That's disgusting. It's like making it with your grandmother.
Your great-grandmother.
and you wouldn't be the only one. What about the King of England?
Oh,
Kings and queens only do it like once a year to
There
make
you go.
a prince.
really? Okay.
I would have it for every day and every night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Please,
No. We keep her under guard at Rockingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace, that's a thing?
Yes.
Not for me, she would say.
Let that sexy
Apes and gorillas. I'm living with apes and gorillas.
Well, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
I find it completely unredeeming in every single way.
Oh.
Morally,
Yeah.
ethically,
Oh.
sexually.
Hey! Yes, Eugene! Give the Earl of Meatloaf his score!
It's all those things, but it got style. A minus.
I want my $5 back. I ain't gonna get beat by the guy who hunks the mother of the British Empire.
Learning a lot about you guys today.
Yeah, first of all, I saw jerk off.
Wait, so that means I'm winning, right?
So far.
No, we still have 2 more.
Yeah. Epstein's next. I wonder what his last week on Earth would be like. You know, he probably wants to take an English exam at City College.
A+ for you, sir!
Arnold, it's your turn.
There's no point to this game.
Yes, there is.
What's the point?
Here we go
I
again.
like it. Come on! I'm giving you the opportunity to do whatever you want in the world because you're going to be killed overseas. But what would you do with it?
I don't want to say, because if I say it might not come true.
He ain't got nothing. All he does is complain.
And pass gas. Hey, wait. That's what he wants to do. He wants to bend over and
Come on.
What is it?
Okay.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. All right. See what you got.
I would like to make Sergeant Merwin J. Toomey do 200 push-ups in front of this platoon. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shit, I hate to say it, but that's not bad.
That's fucking great. That's fucking amazing.
It's okay. 500 would have been better.
Yeah. 10 days.
I think it's terrific. I give Epstein an A+.
What?
A+!
What are you talking about?
Now you can't even beat him.
I can still tie with it.
Hey,
Yeah, sure.
if they tie, nobody wins and we get to keep our money.
That's
Yeah,
right.
okay,
That's
fair
right.
enough. We need a judge.
Come on.
Kowski, you want to be the judge?
You're an idiot. Selridge.
You sure about
I love it.
Yes.
No matter what crap he says, he gets an A+. Don't worry, boys. Your money is safe.
Come on, Gene. Tell us yours.
Okay. I'm gonna get mine wiping out a whole battalion of Marines. Oh no, they put a statue of me at Brighton Beach. Name a junior high after me or a swimming pool. Yeah.
A urinal. All they give you is a urinal. The Eugene and Jerome urinal.
Let him finish. Come on, Gene.
Are you serious?
Come on. Must be something else.
If it's my last week on Earth, I want to fall in love.
Oh my god.
With who?
Perfect girl.
Bullshit.
Oh,
There's
God.
no such thing as a perfect girl.
No,
Wise man.
there is such thing if I fall in love with her. Yeah.
Is that your mother?
I swear, I told you guys all to choose homos.
Incredible. Okay, Roy, give him his score and we can take our money home.
Yeah, give him his A+, so. Yeah, A+. C minus. What? I'm sorry. I'm not gonna get beat with that pissy story. I came up with something hot. I'm not gonna let women love and gloom.
Fucking Sunderland!
Because we just suck your brains out too, God.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't.
Alright. Arnold, you win.
Winner of the spoil.
You know, I swear, it's always the Jews who end up with the money. Ain't that right, Selridge?
I know. I never met a Jew before the army.
What? Well, I promise you, it's a really easier spot. Look up. Here's one. Here's another one. You know, they're the guys who take their bacon and they slide it under the toast just so that nobody else sees them eat it.
How's that even funny?
Ain't that right, Epstein?
I'm tired of taking that Jew crap from you, Wykowski. I know you could probably beat the shit out of me, but I'm not gonna take it from you anymore. Do you understand?
Don't take any shit from me.
No, I won't.
Show me!
What are you doing? What does it matter what religion he is?
I don't give two shits. This guy thinks he's too smart to take orders.
Hey! Why are you so mad?
I don't give two shits. If I have to do any more push-ups on account of this fruit, I'll bust your face in no matter if you got a Jew nose or not!
Hey! What the hell's going on in here?
Yelling.
Nothing, Sergeant.
What do you mean, nothing? I heard threats, challenges, and an invitation to bust the nose of members of the minority races. Now, are you still telling me nothing's going on in here?
Yes, Sergeant!
I think you better sleep on that answer, boy. And to make sure you get a good night's sleep, you get yourself good and tired with 100 push-ups. On the floor, dog face, and let me hear you count. If I hear any more racial slurs from this platoon, some dumb bastard's gonna be shoveling cow shit with a teaspoonful of mud! Especially if I hear from some Polak puke piece of shit like you, Hennessy.
7, I'm Irish!
I don't give a fuck what you are! Until you are all ready to die for each and every man in this company, you are all equally worthless! Lights out!
I never liked Wykowski much, and I didn't like him any better after tonight. But the one I hated the most was myself, because I didn't stand up for Epstein, a fellow Jew. Maybe I was afraid of Wykowski, or maybe Epstein sort of sometimes asked for it. But because the other guys didn't really pick on me that much, I figured to stay sort of neutral, like Switzerland. Then I wrote in my journal every guy's last desire if they were to be killed in the war. I never intended to show it to anyone, but I still felt a little ashamed of betraying their secret and private thoughts. And possibly the only one who felt worse than I did was Hennessy on the floor.
20, I fucking swear!
Oh, 48 hours past, goddamn! If I can make it with one girl every 4 hours, I can have a lot of girls.
Hey, be careful. You know what you could get?
Yeah? Really?
A lot of kids.
Ow. Shit. What's wrong? Someone stole my wallet. Every dollar and every cent that I had. $62, what a fucking bastard!
How do you know someone stole it? Maybe you just lost the money.
I counted it before I hit the sack last night. I was saving it for the big weekend. I better know who did it. They might have even done it together.
How do you know it was one of them? It was one of us.
Was it Hennessy? Was it one of you?
Oh, I think we're dumb enough to tell you if we stole your money.
I'm telling you, it's Epstein, and he's sour for me from what I said last night.
Oh, maybe he's sour at you, but he's not the type that steals money.
Who asked you, Hennessy? Where I come from, no one gives a shit. We're all Polacks, Pego, niggas, and sheenies. No one gives a crap. Boy, do I care. You'll fucking Nick anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, half Mick. Half Megan.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Yeah, but my father's Irish, my mother's colored.
Oh, no, you can't be colored. They wouldn't let you in the
I never told anybody.
Yeah, well, I fucking knew. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew you did.
Wykowski fucking knew. I'm black Irish, Kowski. As colored as I am. And we know how you think, don't we?
I'm laying for you, Hennessy. After I get Epstein for taking my money, I'm coming after you.
Does Toomey know?
I'm sure Toomey knows. If someone steals $62, you hear about it.
Gentlemen, I think we have a problem. All those wishing to help me solve it, get your asses in here before the firing squad leaves for the weekend. Move it! Hustle it up! Quickly! Get down here, man! Move it! Quickly! Quickly! I've been in this man's army 12 years, 4 months, and 23 days. During my tenure as a non-commissioned officer, I put up with everything from mutiny to sodomy. I consider mutiny and sodomy relatively minor offenses. Mutiny is an act of aggression due to a rising expression of unreleased repressed feelings. Sodomy is the result of doing something you don't want to do with someone you don't want to do it with because of no access to do what you want to do with someone you can't get to do it with.
It makes sense if you think about it slowly.
Burglary, on the other hand, is a cheap shit crime, and I frown on that. In the past 31 days, you boys have made some fine progress. You're not fighting soldiers yet, but I'd match you up against some Nazi cocktail waitresses anytime. That's why it's my recommendation that this platoon receive a 48-hour pass. But until we solve the mystery of Wykowski's missing $62, there will be no 48-hour passes issued until you are all old and gray soldiers of World War II marching as American legionaries in the Armistice Day parades. I'm asking the guilty party to step forward and place the money on the floor. I offer no leniency, no forgiveness, no abstention from punishment. What I do offer is honor, integrity, and the respect of his fellow soldiers, knowing that it was his act of courage that allowed you all to enjoy the brief freedom you so richly deserve. Now I'm counting down to 30. It is of this time that heroes are made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There's $62, if anyone cares to count it.
I don't think that'll be necessary, Private Epstein. Wykowski, pick up your money. I said pick it up, don't count it. Private Epstein, do you have anything to say?
No, Sergeant.
I asked why you decided to return the money.
I chose to.
You chose to, knowing full well swift and just punishment may be inflicted upon you if and when this is reported to the commanding officer.
I know it only too well, sir.
You could have kept quiet about this. Chances are no one would have found out or been the wiser.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why 5 innocent men should suffer a loss of privilege because of one guilty one.
Wykowski, is it your wish that I report this incident and the guilty party to the commanding officer?
I just wanted my money, Sarge. I can deal with the bastard who took it.
Last night at 0100 hours, I wandered through this barracks and saw carelessness and complacency. Wykowski's wallet was lying in an open footlocker, inviting weakness, avarice, and temptation. I took your $62, Wykowski, and put the empty wallet back in its place. I did it to teach you a lesson. Instead, I got torpedoed. Private Epstein, are you such a goddamn ignorant fool to take the blame for something you know you're completely innocent of?
The Army has its logic, I have my own.
The Army's logic, as you call it, is to instill discipline, obedience, and unquestioned faith in superiors. What in the hell is yours?
Since I'm not guilty of a crime, sir, I reserve the privilege to keep my motives a matter of confidentiality.
That's where it's wrong. Confessing to a crime you didn't commit is no less of an offense than not confessing to one you did commit. That is called obstruction of justice. You may not like our rules, boy, but by God, you're going to clean every toilet and piss pot until you learn. Confine the barracks until further notice. The rest of you are on a 48-hour pass. Fall out! Epstein, I want to work with you in private. Now, you listen to me, you fly speck on a mountain of horse shit. You're taking me on, ain't you? Well, I got a nutcracker that crushes the testicles of men who take me on. How the hell do you think you can beat me?
I'm not trying to beat you, sir. I'm trying to work with you.
Think you're low on batteries, Epstein. I think some plumber turned off the fountain of knowledge. What the hell you mean, working with me?
I don't think it's necessary to dehumanize a man to get him to perform. You could get better results raising our spirits than lowering our dignity, maybe.
Why in the hell did you put money back you knew you didn't take?
Because I knew you did it. I saw you take it. I think inventing a crime that didn't exist to enforce your theories of discipline is Neanderthal in its conception.
I can arrange it, Epstein, that from now on you get nothing to eat in the mess hall except cotton balls. You ever eat a cotton ball, Epstein? You can chew it till 1986, it don't swallow. Men do not face enemy machine guns because they have been treated with kindness. They face them because they have a bayonet up their ass. I don't want them human. I want them obedient.
Egyptian kings tried to make their slaves obedient once. Eventually, they lost their slaves and their kingdom.
Yeah, well, I may lose mine, but before I do, you're gonna build me the biggest goddamn pyramid you ever saw. I'm trying to save these boys' lives, you crawling bookworm. You stand in my way and I will pulverize you into chicken droppings.
This should be an interesting contest.
And after I crush your nuts, you can replace them with the cotton balls. Neanderthal in its conception. Jesus H. Christ!
So, who really stole the money?
Toomey stole Wykowski's 62 bucks. But Epstein stole Toomey's idea of stealing Wykowski's 62 bucks.
Why, though?
You ever see a big fat hippo screw another big fat hippo?
No.
Yeah, there's no point. But they still do it. Anyways, you got anything ready?
Yeah. I'll tell you guys something. The Army is really dumb. The Navy is this dumb, I'll have to take a train to Europe.
Epstein, why the hell would you go and do a dumbass thing like that?
You wouldn't understand.
Why, huh? Because I'm dumb? Because I'm a dumb Polak, huh? Is that what you think I am? Now who's calling who names?
You are. If no one confessed, no one goes on leave. If any of the other guys really did it, I'd still end up cleaning the toilet bowls. He's trying to break my spirit.
Why the hell did you figure that?
Talmudic reasoning.
I'm sorry, what?
Talmudic. You weigh both sides of an issue, you choose the one that's most interesting. Unless, of course, the other guy picks that one first.
Whatever. Anyway. Look, you stuck your neck out for us, and I'd like to pay back my debts.
You really want to shake my hand, Wykowski?
Look, man, it ain't coming out again, so take it while you can.
Let's not be hypocritical. I did what I did for me, not for you.
You know what, Epstein? I ain't gonna make any more Jew cracks to you. You wanna know why? Because you're a shit heel, no matter what religion you are.
Why do you always do things the hard way?
It makes life more interesting.
It makes a lot of problems.
And without problems, the day would be over at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, I admired what you did back there, Arnold. You remind me of my brother sometimes. He was always standing up for his principles too.
Principles? Yeah. They're okay. Sometimes they get in the way of reasoning.
So how do you know which is the right one?
You have to get involved. You don't get involved enough, Eugene.
What do you mean?
You're a witness. You're always standing around, watching what's happening, scribbling in your little notepad what everyone else is doing. You have to get in the middle of it. You have to take sides, make a contribution to the fight.
What fight?
Any fight, the one that you believe in.
Okay. Hey, sometimes I feel like I'm sort of invisible. Like the shadow. I can see everyone else, but they can't see me. I think, that's what I think writers are sometimes. You know, sort of invisible.
Not Tolstoy. Not Tolstoy, not Dostoevsky, not Herman Melville.
Yeah, none of those guys.
Epstein! Out here in the goddamn flushing!
Look, I better go. I have to get involved with some toilet bowls.
I would love to talk to you more, Arnold.
I'm available?
Maybe Sunday night after we're gonna get back.
Sure. Anytime you want. Hey! Make sure you don't come back pregnant.
You kidding? I'm wearing 3 pairs of socks.
Or put them out in the right place.
And thus, we were off to live out our fantasies. Love or sex, we settled for either one. I put powder and aqua velva in and under every conceivable part of my body. You guys almost done?
Almost. Yeah. Just before we go, can I sing this one song?
No.
Please, come on, let me sing the song. Stars shining bright above you.
No, you're not good.
Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you.
Yo, whisper.
Singing in the sycamore tree, dream a little dream of me.
Say night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me.
While I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on near, still fading your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, just saying yes.
Sweet dreams of sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me.
Shut up! Oh my God!
Almost a half hour he's been in there. It doesn't take a half hour. You couldn't make any money that way.
Maybe I went twice or 3 times.
Because you can keep going for 6 months straight, that's not the point. She charges you every time. That is the point.
Maybe she gave him a free one because of his unusual condition.
Wait, you mean she charges you every time you have a...
Yeah, that's right.
How does she know when you have one?
Because your eyes spin around. I'm in an attitude plan. Well, Lego! You just had one. This guy's serious.
He's from New York City too, can you believe it?
I can make it out on my own. I just don't go to places like this.
We can tell.
And you mean when you have a thing more than once, she keeps count?
Yeah. Every time you do it, she makes an X on your forehead with a lipstick.
Hey, don't blow smoke in my face. I'm gonna stink up with tobacco.
Don't worry, nothing can penetrate your layers of aqua velvet. Hey, you don't like it. What are you smoking for?
Oh, I didn't know I was. Somebody must have handed it to me.
Rookie.
Do you want to sit down, Sal?
Break my concentration? Hurry up, goddammit! I'm gonna pass my peak!
What if she's ugly? Like really ugly?
Then close your eyes and think of Carney's sister's big booty.
Hey, she's married, Selridge. Back off.
I don't want to close my eyes. It's like doing it to yourself.
Not unless you feel we're underneath you. Or on top of you.
What do you mean on top of you? Who's gonna be on top of me?
She would. She could be anywhere. Under a table. Or on a chair. Or on an ironing board.
An ironing board? What kind of girl is this? I thought we were just going to some regular place.
I didn't mention anything that wasn't regular. I mean, come on. Don't you know anything? Don't you know how many possible positions there are?
Yeah, sure, I'm not ignoramus.
All right. How many positions are there?
I'm having this conversation with him.
All right. How many positions are there?
American or worldwide?
You don't know shit, Jerome.
Hey, maybe not actual experience, but I have all the information I need.
Okay, then how many positions are there in this galaxy?
For how much?
Loser pays for the bang.
Don't call it a bang. I'm here for pleasure, not to get banged.
Fine. For $5. How many positions are there?
Wait, give me a minute. I'm thinking.
You want me to tell you?
No?
Well, I'll tell you. 17.
How do you know?
Tried them all.
You're wrong. there's at least 52 different positions.
52? You're crazy. How'd you come up with that?
I saw a dirty deck of cards once.
Oh my
Rookie, still got the B card.
I know, this guy's worse than Epstein.
You owe me $5.
Hey, this is perfect. You're lucky if you get one position.
I'm not doing anything if it's on an ironing board.
Hey, if you do it on an ironing board, you get your shirt pressed for free.
Oh, 34 minutes, goddammit! You should have let the normal guys go first.
I didn't want my first time to be like this. I really tried to find somebody nice. But there were 21,000 soldiers on leave in Biloxi and 14 girls. Those are tough odds, especially because those 14 girls all go to Catholic school and are handcuffed to nuns.
Well.
So? Tell us.
She wants to see me after the war.
Shoot blanks, soldier, shoot blanks.
All right, guys. Who's next?
You go ahead. I just had lunch. I don't want to get cramped.
Entree boost.
All right. I'll try to save a little something for you guys. How are you doing?
We don't have to do this, you know. There's a dance over at the USO.
This isn't your first time, is it? I mean, you've done it before, haven't you?
Oh yeah, sure. You kidding? Not a lot. About 5 or 6 times.
So why are you doing it again?
You're not through after 5 or 6 times. You live long enough. You got 12,000 more left to go.
I don't know why I'm so scared. I'm never going to see her again. I don't want to make a fool of myself. I'm just afraid she's going to laugh in my face.
Not if she gets paid. If she laughed at you, you'd be entitled to a refund.
You're done already? That was fast.
Didn't even make it to the bed. I knew I hit my peak too soon.
See what I told you? Refund right there. Listen, I think I'm gonna go to the dance.
How come?
I said before I did it 5 or 6 times, but it was all with the same girl. We're kind of engaged. She might not like it.
I bet she wouldn't. I didn't know you had a girl. That's terrific. What's her name?
Charlene.
Charlene. Wow, sounds sexy. Do you think you'll get married soon?
It's a 50-50 chance. She's seeing another boyfriend in Albany. So what are you gonna do?
The thing is, I don't have a girl. I have to learn on my own. Epstein says I have to get more involved in life. I think I'm in the perfect place for an involvement.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe I'll see you later. Look, don't expect too much the first time. What I'm trying to say, if it doesn't go all that well the first time, don't give up on it for good.
I'm not a quitter. I'm dedicating my life to getting it right.
You gonna put this in your journal?
Sure, I put everything in my journal.
Right. Look, hey, people don't like books unless there's sex in it.
Oh.
Hey. People also don't like pictures. People don't like books unless there's pictures in it either. Come on.
What?
Hand on the doorknob.
What?
Hand on the doorknob. Yeah. Hips up. Hands up. All right. Great. Give me your best thrust. 1, 2, 3. Krakatoa! Good luck, kid.
And thus, the young man they called Eugene bade farewell to his youth, turns and enters the temple of fire.
How you doing, honey?
Okay.
You having any trouble in there?
Oh, no. No trouble at all.
Well, what the hell are you doing for 10 minutes? Come on, kid. I ain't got all day.
Okay. Here. Okay. Got this.
Okay, honey. Listen, you can keep your shorts on if you like, but I have a rule against wearing army shoes in bed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I forgot to take them off. I suddenly began sweating like crazy. So I was hoping my aqua velva was working.
You don't mind a little perfume, do you, honey? The boy before you had on a gallon of aquavella.
Shit. No, I don't mind at all. Actually, you could spray some on me. Oh, God. Oh,
If you
flowers.
like a bottle for your girlfriend, I sell them $5 a piece.
You sell perfume too?
I sell hard-to-get items, silk stockings, black panties. You interested?
Do you sell men's clothing?
That's cute. You're cute, honey. You want me to take your shoes off?
Oh, no, I can do it. Honest, I can.
Is this your first time?
First time? That's funny. That's really funny. No, this is my second time. The first time they were closed.
You don't smoke cigarettes, do you?
How'd you know?
You looked like your face was on fire. If you want to look older, why don't you try a mustache?
I did once, but it wouldn't grow in on the left side. So, what's your name?
Rowena, what's yours?
My name? I suddenly panicked. Supposing this girl kept a diary.
Well,
I'm huge. It's a huge name. Jack. Yeah, Jack Mulgroovy.
yeah? I knew a Tom Mulgreevy once.
Oh, no, mine's Mulgroovy. Ooh, not
Where are you from, Jack?
Texarkana.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that Texas or Arkansas?
Arkansas, I think.
You think?
Well, I left there when I was 2. My whole family left for Georgia. That's right. Georgia.
Really? You a cracker?
What's a cracker?
Someone from Georgia.
Oh, yeah, I'm a cracker. The whole family's crackers. Were you born in Biloxi?
No, Gulfport. I still live there with my husband.
Your husband? You're married? Thought if you find me, he was gonna kill me.
No, he won't. No.
Does he know you're
Oh, but sure he does. That's how we met. He's in the Navy. He was one of my best customers. He still is.
You mean you charge your own husband?
I mean, he's my best lover. You're gonna do it from there, cowboy, because if
Oh,
you are, you're gonna have to
no.
make some adjustments.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Here I come.
Well, if you're gonna hang on the edge like that, we're gonna be on the floor in 2 minutes.
I didn't want to crowd you.
Crowding is what this is all about. Okay.
Okay.
Just like that. Step right. Okay.
Up here?
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
okay. Yeah, all right.
Okay, do your stuff.
What stuff is that?
Whatever it is you like to do.
What if you start and I'll just catch up?
Hasn't anybody ever told you what to do?
My brother once showed me, but you look a lot different than my brother.
That's sweet. I went to high school with a boy like you. Had the biggest damn crush on him.
Do you ever hanky.
Anything wrong?
My nose is running. Oh,
Better.
thank you. Listen, not to offend you or anything, but I don't really care if this is a wonderful experience or not. I actually just want this to be over with.
Whatever you say. Lights on or off?
Actually, I would like a blindfold.
All right, now, let's just get these boxes all.
Wait, what? Okay. Okay. Oh, no, okay. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, my God. No. I did it. I did it.
Anything else, honey?
Yeah. I would like 2 bottles of perfume and a pair of black pants.
I can't believe what these creeps are writing about us. Listen to this shit. No matter how crazy I think Sergeant Toomey is, there is a method to his madness. He's winning the game. Each day we drop a little of our own personalities and become more obedient and more robot-like. Until what once was an intelligent, thinking human being is now nothing but a tacky fucking idiot. I'm fighting hard to retain my identity. And the only time I'm able to hold on to who I am is in the still of the night.
Wow, what a weekend. Hey, how'd you guys do?
Hennessy, you better listen to this. You're in this too.
Yeah? What is it?
The secret and private memoirs of Eugene Morris Jerome.
He let you read that?
Of course not. But we'll ask him when we get through it.
You got no right to read that. That's like opening
Bullshit. Okay? This is secret and private things about each and every one of us. That's public domain like the fucking newspapers.
The newspapers are published. Unpublished memoirs are the sole and private property of the writer.
I thought Jews were doctors, not lawyers.
I'm not a Jew anymore, Wykowski.
What?
I converted to Catholicism yesterday. In 6 weeks, I hope to become a priest. And my first act of service to the Holy Father is to have you excommunicated.
That was funny. God, that Jews are really funny. Hey, Epstein, I'm really beginning to like you. I swear to Christ.
Yeah, well, I know I'm not interested in hearing any more of this. I thought you were Eugene's friend, Epstein.
He left his locker unlocked. Why then would he leave something so private in an open locker? There's no logic to it. I have no interest in illogical things.
You tell Gene I had nothing to do with this.
All right, go on. Still of the night.
At night, I listen to the others breathing in their sleep. And it's then that their fears and self-doubts become even more apparent than in their waking hours. One night, I heard a sudden scream from Selridge that sounded like he was calling out the name Louise. Is Louise his girl or his mother?
He's full of crap.
Oh, poor baby wants his mother.
He's full of crap. I never called my mother Louise.
I don't want to hear any more of this. It feels like I'm being spied on.
What a fucking bastard! Wait till you hear what he writes
Hey,
about
wait,
me.
wait, he's coming, he's coming.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How was this weekend?
Great.
Good.
Didn't see you at the USO. Well,
The what?
How'd it go? Was it
Old black magic has me in
Come
its
on.
spell. Or was it stormy weather since my man and I are together?
It was more like it was chatty.
I'm sorry, your first time in the sack with a pro was chatty.
No, she's not a pro. She only does it on weekends.
I'm sorry, she's a semi-pro?
Great remark, Wykowski.
Well, at least I talked to her. I wasn't in and out there in 2 minutes.
Well, like 2 seconds.
She was a person to me, not a pro.
Self-righteous Eugene. Stay on guard against self-righteousness.
Now, the second time, we'll swing. Swing. We'll swing.
The second time, you paid twice.
It was a freebie.
Bullshit.
On the house.
She gave you a second one for free?
Oh. And you know why? Maybe it's because I was the only private who could actually satisfy her.
Blow it out your barracks bag.
Shooting blanks, dude.
Has anybody seen my journal?
What journal? I never heard of a journal.
You know what I'm talking about, Wykowski. The one I'm always writing in?
Never seen it.
Arnold, have you seen my journal?
Why'd you leave your locker unlocked?
Oh, well, I lost my key in the sergeant. Nothing valuable was in my locker except my notebook. I thought I could trust people around here.
Well, that's really funny, Eugene, because we thought we could trust you too.
What does that mean?
In the still of the night, we might have read something.
Something
that weren't so nice.
Not so nice.
In the still of the night. In the still of the night.
One night, a sudden scream from Selridge sounded like he was calling out the name Louise. Is Louise his girl or possibly his mother?
You have no right to read that. Give it back to me.
Hey, cut it out, Wykowski. Nobody's interested.
I'm sorry, Connie boy. You're not interested in what he has to write about?
Hey, wait, no, don't stop.
Ah, you want your arm broken? It's up to you.
Ah, okay.
What does he say about me?
No, stop. Ah.
I promise, Jerome, if it gets boring, I'll stop. I can't make Don Carney out. Basically, I like him, and we've had some interesting talks. If you don't mind sticking to popular music and baseball, but there's something about him you can't count on. And if I were in any real trouble, Don Carney is the last one I will turn to. Ouch. It's tough.
Well, let's just hope you never have to count on me, huh?
Hey, Carney, I didn't
Blow it out your ass, Shakespeare!
I could have thought.
Blow it out your
I
ass!
could have thought you write it down. I don't mean any of that.
Selridge, let him go. Wait, you want your arm broken too? I don't care who's thinking, cheek.
Okay, are you ready for the best part? Here is the fucking best part. Wykowski is pure animal. His basic instincts are all fucking physical. He eats like a horse eating oats. Hey, Epstein, can I sue this asshole for defamation?
Character? Only if his intent is to prove malice, and in your case, it's not possible.
He masturbates in bed 4 or 5 times a night, and he has no shame about it because his capacities are inexhaustible. Sometimes when he has a discharge, he announces it to the room. Number 5, torpedo fired, loaded number 6. You know, actually, that's really good reporting, Eugene. You should be in Time magazine.
Stop it. If you want to read it to yourself.
What do you mean? You're making me famous. You know, this is a fucking movie. A great picture for John Wayne. Is there more? Where was I? You were firing number 6. Oh! Despite Wykowski's lack of culture, sensitivity, or the pursuit of anything minutely intellectual, his greatest strength is his consistency of character and his earnest belief that he belongs on the battlefield. He is clearly the best soldier in the platoon, dependable under pressure, and it would not surprise me if Wykowski came out one with the Medal of Honor.
Do you really mean that, Jerome? He said, I don't mean any of that. I get a thought and I write it down. Right now, I will describe you in 3 words: a yellow bastard.
They don't give medals of honor to yellow bastards, Jerome. So is that Why the hell do you write this crap anyway? You're only gonna get yourself in trouble.
What I write is mine. It's my business. Give me back my journal.
Wait a minute. I think I deserve to hear what's written about me.
Arnold, please don't read that. If you take it, you steal from me.
Well, I gather that it's unflattering. Don't you know me by now, Gene? I can't be unflattered. I'm past it. However, if you don't want me to read it, I won't read it. I just don't think we'll be able to be truly honest with each other from here on out.
Okay. You put it back when you're done.
Come on, Epstein. No one get to hear it?
Sure, Wykowski. That's what we're fighting the war about, isn't it? Arnold Epstein is truly the most complex and fascinating man I've ever met, and his constant and relentless pursuit of truth, logic, and reason fascinates me in the same proportion as his obstinacy and unnecessary heroics drive me to distraction. But I love him for it. In the same manner that I love Joe DiMaggio for making the gesture of catching a long fly ball to center seem like the last miracle performed by God in modern times. But often I hold back showing my love and affection for Arnold because I think he might misinterpret it. It just so happens to be my instinctive feeling that Arnold is homosexual, and it bothers me that it bothers me. You see why I find life so interesting? Here is a man of my own faith and background, potentially intelligent and talented, who in 6 weeks has come to the brilliant conclusion that a cretin like Wykowski is going to win the Medal of Honor, and that I, his most esteemed and dearest friend, is a fairy. This here is a problem worthy of a Talmudic scholar, fellas. Good night. It is in my opinion that no one gets a wink of sleep tonight.
She really give you a second one for free.
Hey, listen. I'm sorry what I wrote in my journal. I didn't mean it the way it sounded.
Forget about it. You don't really know me anyway.
Oh, I suppose I don't.
Is that what you think? That I'm someone who can't be counted on?
I don't know. You're just somebody who can never make up his mind. You say, let's go eat Chinese food. We walk in order. And then you say, nah, let's go get some burgers. We play basketball. You never take a shot. You always pass it off to somebody else.
Because I'm not a good shooter.
Just as good as the rest of us. You just take too long to shoot.
And that's why I can't be counted on.
I wasn't writing about peacetime. I'm sure you're a very dependable person during peacetime. But we're in war. We're going to be fighting for our lives soon. I mean, somebody throws a grenade into your foxhole. You don't want some random guy just to be looking at it for 10 minutes wondering, what should we gotta do about it?
Yeah, I can see that.
But you're still sorry, aren't you?
I don't know. I have to think about it. You know what Charlene once said to me? She said the reason she was seeing this other guy in Albany was because she didn't think I was someone she could count on.
You're kidding. Those exact words?
You think I'd ever forget them? She said she liked me more than the other guy, but she wasn't sure I'd ever make up my mind. So, while she's waiting, she sees this other guy in Albany.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. That.
Except for one thing. I'm not gonna be in a foxhole with her when the grenade goes off. I have to think about this because getting married is more serious.
What, more serious than being blown up in battle?
Yeah! If the grenade goes off, boom, 2 seconds, you're dead. Blam! You make a mistake in marriage. You got 50 years of misery. You see what I mean?
I see. Hey, I'm getting tired. I'm gonna turn in. How about you?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Good night.
Good night, Eugene. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. Shut up! Was saying a prayer for someone I really could care for.
2:30 in the goddamn morning, Carney.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone. I wonder why I cared my life without a dream of my own.
I would like a dream.
Then she suddenly appeared before me.
Ah!
Only one of my arms will hold.
Ah! Everybody up, goddammit! Move asses! Yeah! It's 2:15 in the morning, I got a headache, a problem, and a goddamn temper all at the same time. Let's go! We got some serious talking to do. Move it! Quickly, quickly, quickly! Is there any among you who do not know the meaning of the word fellatio? For the uninformed, fellatio is the act of committing oral intercourse. Is there any among you who do not know the meaning of the word oral or intercourse? It's good to know my platoon is made up of mental giants. At exactly 01:55 this morning, Sergeant Riley of Baker Company entered the dark latrine situated in his barracks. When he hit the light switch, lo and behold, he saw 2 members of this regiment in the act of the aforementioned exercise. Now, back in the Boy Scouts, that sort of thing came under the heading of experimentation. In the wartime U.S. Army, it is considered a criminal offense, punishable by court-martial, dishonorable discharge, and a possible 5-year prison term. The soldier in Company B was a Private Harvey J. Lindstrom. The other soldier, whose back was to Sergeant Riley, made his escape by jumping out of an open window with his pants somewhere around his ankles. A feat of dexterity worthy of a paratrooper. Sergeant Riley, a man with 5 pounds of shrapnel in his right leg, gave chase to no avail, but he reported seeing the men enter this barracks at approximately 0200 hours. These are the facts, gentlemen. I will be brief. Does the guilty party wish to step forward and save this company? What I promise you will be pain, anguish, and humiliation beyond the endurance of man? No, I didn't think so. I'm just gonna have to pick him out, won't I? It's amazing what you can find out when you go eyeball to eyeball. Show us back, Wykowski! No, please, Selridge! Are you winking at me?
No, Sergeant.
Why not? Am I too ugly to wink at? Are you calling me ugly, Selridge? Stand up straight, Jerome! There are 2 eyeballs in there whose shoes I would not want to be in. Robert Lindstrom will be interrogated in the morning. If he names the man he consorted with tonight, it is very possible Private Lindstrom's sentence will be significantly lessened. Worrisome thought to the individual's eyeballs I just referenced. In the meantime, all privileges on base are canceled. All weekend passes are likewise canceled. The moral of the story is, when you get real horny, do unto yourself what you do unto others.
Why the fuck are we gonna keep up this?
Don't say Wykowski, just don't say it.
I don't have to say it. We all know what he's talking about. Come on, Jeong. Even you wrote it down in your journal, didn't you? Didn't you?
I also wrote that you're an animal, and if I'm right, you should be in a cavalry with a saddle on your back. I'll show it to Toomey, okay? And then Epstein can start serving his 5 years, and you can move into the stables. Yeah, that should satisfy a fucking horse ass like you.
What?
Both of you!
Hey,
Cut it out!
Wykowski.
It's none of our business! The army will take care of it in the morning.
What do you mean it's none of our business? No more base privileges, no more weekend passes. You telling me that's not my business?
Carney's right, the army will take care of it.
Arnold, I'm sorry, Arnold. I swear, I'm so sorry I wrote this in my journal.
Actually, I'm kind of enjoying it. It's like an Agatha Christie story. Murder by fellatio. Title's no good. Sounds like Italian ice cream. How about Murder on the Fellatio Express?
I'm sorry. You think this is funny, Epstein?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if you're laughing at Lebanon. And you call me a fucking creep.
Look, there's nothing we can do about it right now. Okay? Try and get some sleep.
No, I don't see what's such a big deal. A guy should do whatever he wants to. Yeah, just as long as he doesn't do it to me.
Don't do that, Gene. You start compromising your thoughts, you're a candidate for mediocrity.
I learned a very important lesson that night. People believe whatever they read. Something magical happens once it's put down on paper. They figured no one would go through the trouble of writing it down if it wasn't the truth. Responsibility was my new watchword. Anyway, the army must have really scared Private Lindstrom that night because I knew when the phone rang in Toomey's room, poor guy must have talked his guts out. I decided to go out. Because what happened in the next 10 seconds was something I did not want to see or hear.
When the following soldier's name is called, he is requested to dress in his Class A uniform and follow me. Hennessy, James, J.
What for?
That's a matter you can discuss with the military police. Come on, son. I don't like this any better than you do.
I felt real lousy about Hennessy. The next weekend, I went to Rowena's again. She didn't remember who I was. She acted like I was some stranger. Anyway, I tell her about Hennessy, doing it with another guy and possibly getting 5 years in jail. And she says, well, I've got no sympathy for homosexuals, dear. They're just taking the bread out of the mouths of my babies. I'm never gonna pay for it again. It just cheapens the idea of sex. I was determined to meet the perfect girl, and I knew exactly what she would be like. She'll be pretty, but not too beautiful. When they're too beautiful, they love them first and you second. She'll be athletic. You know, someone who I could fly or hit fly balls to, and she'll catch all of them. She loved to go to the movies and read books and see plays. We never ran out of conversation. She's out there, I know it. The girl I'm going to fall in love with is living in New York or Boston or Philadelphia, just waiting around for anyone to meet her. It's crazy. There she is, and here I am. The both of us just waiting around. Why doesn't she or anybody yell out, Eugene, I'm here. Come and get me.
Hello.
Hi.
Would you care to dance?
Oh, me? I don't dance very well.
I bet you do.
No, I swear, I never dance.
Well, then why did you come to a dance?
That's a logical question. I was hoping to find somebody I felt like talking to.
Well, we could talk while we dance.
Yeah, but it's hard for me because I'm always counting when I'm dancing. Whatever you say, I'll answer 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Then I'll only ask you mathematical questions. I'm sure you didn't know how to march before you got into the army.
No, I didn't.
Well, if you could learn to march, you could learn to dance.
Yeah, but if I didn't know, even if I didn't learn how to march, I would be doing push-ups until I was 83.
I'm not that strict. But if it makes you that uncomfortable, I won't intrude on your privacy. It was very nice to meet you. Bye.
Okay.
Okay, what?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Good.
All I have to do is step into place, right? Well,
Right. You're doing fine, except your lips are moving.
if my lips don't move, my feet don't move.
Try talking instead of counting.
Okay, let's see. My name is Jean. 1, 2, 3. I'm from Brooklyn. 1, 2. Sorry.
It's okay. We're making headway. Just plain Jean?
Well, if you want the long version, it's Eugene Morris Jerome. What's yours?
Daisy.
Daisy. Oh, that's funny because Daisy's my favorite character in literature.
Daisy Miller or Daisy Buchanan?
Buchanan. The Great Gatsby is one of the all-time great books. I never read Daisy Miller before. Is it good?
It's wonderful. Although I do prefer The Great Gatsby. New York must have been thrilling in the 20s.
It was. Well, that's where I'm from. I only saw a little bit from my baby carriage, but it's still a terrific city. What else?
What else? What?
What other books have you read? I mean, you don't just read books with Daisy in the title, do you?
No. I like books with Anna in the title too.
Oh.
Anna Karenina, Anna Christie. That was a play by O'Neill.
Eugene O'Neill. Playwrights named Eugene are usually my favorite. Hey, listen, do you want to sit down? I've been stepping on your toes this whole time and you haven't said a word. You deserve a rest.
Sure.
I can't believe I'm having a conversation like this in Biloxi, Mississippi.
You don't like Biloxi?
Oh, no, it's not a bad town. It's okay. Yeah, it's all right. I hate it.
I'm not that fond of it myself. Actually, I'm from Gulfport. We all are.
Gulfport? Oh, that's funny. I know a girl from Gulfport.
Well, really, what's her name? Maybe I know her.
Oh, no, you don't. I doubt it. She's in the physical therapy / clothing business. Do you go to school there?
Mm-hmm. St. Mary's. It's Catholic. An all-girls school. I really should get going. We're supposed to mingle. If we're with anyone for more than 10 minutes, the sisters get very nervous.
We haven't used up our 10 minutes yet. Please? I really like talking to you.
Well, okay, just a few minutes.
Do you want a Coke or something?
It's all the way on the other side of the room. It'll take you at least a minute and a half to get it.
You're right. Let the next guy get you a Coke. Listen, not to offend you at all, but I didn't think there were any girls like you from the South. Meaning, very easy to talk to.
Well, believe me, there are. Anyway, I'm not really from the South. I was raised in Chicago. My dad used to work on a newspaper there. Then he got a job in New Orleans on the Examiner as city editor. But he took 6 months off first to write a book.
Wait, your father's a writer? That's incredible because that's what I want to be. Hey, listen, not to change the subject or anything, but would it offend you so much if I told you that I thought you were extremely pretty?
No, why would it? I like when boys think I'm pretty.
Do a lot of boys think you're pretty?
Well, I'd hope so, but they don't always say it. They get really shy around me. My dad thinks I intimidate boys my own age. But I'm glad you don't seem intimidated.
Well, no, I told you, I'm from New York.
So what kind of writer do you want to be?
I don't know. So far, all I've written were a few stories and my entries in my journal. Oh, I keep a journal with me everywhere I go, and I write everything down. My thoughts, my feelings about things. I've been doing it since I was a kid.
My dad has a journal too. That's how he got to writing his book. I read that it's a very good way to become a writer.
Well, let's just say a few of my closest friends read my journal, and they were very impressed.
Sister Marissa is glaring at me from across the room. I really should see if someone else wants to dance. It was very nice to meet you, Eugene Morris Jerome. I'm trying to remember your whole name just in case I see it in print someday.
Oh, you didn't tell me your whole name, in case I wanted to write to St. Mary's All-Girls Going Golf Court.
Hannigan. Daisy Hannigan.
Daisy Hannigan. That's a great name. F. Scott Fitzgerald should have thought about that before Daisy Buchanan.
Well, you have my permission to use it. I wouldn't mind it all being immortalized. Goodbye, Eugene.
Goodbye, Daisy. Daisy Hannigan. God, every time I say that name, it's like I'm speaking literature.
You say nice things. Matter of fact, you didn't say one wrong thing that entire conversation.
Wow. Wow. At last, something to live for. Daisy Hannigan. Try saying that to yourself and see if you wouldn't fall in love. I knew I had to see her again. When she smiled at me, I got little tiny heart attacks. Not enough to kill you, of course, but enough to keep you from walking straight. Daisy Hannigan. Daisy Hannigan.
Epstein, have a drink.
I don't drink, sir.
You will tonight,
Why?
because I said so.
Fine.
You hate the Army, don't you, Epstein?
Yes, Sergeant, I do.
Well, I don't blame him. The Army hates you just as much. When they pick you, they pick the bottom of the dung heap. You are dung, Epstein. You don't mind my saying that, because you know that's what you are. Ding dong dung.
You say so?
You're damn right I say so. I say so because I got a loaded .45 pistol in my hand. And I'm also piss drunk. And if a piss drunk sergeant has a loaded .45 pointed at the head of a piece of dung that the piss drunk sergeant hates and despises, how would you describe that situation, Epstein?
Delicate? extremely delicate.
I describe it as fraught with the possibility of crapping your pants. I'll be honest with you, Epstein. I had every intention of coming in here tonight, putting this pistol to your ear and blowing a tunnel clean through your head.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
I bet you are. If I were you, I'd consider that bad news from home. How's the contest going now, Epstein? I bet your ass is sorry you ever took me on, ain't you?
Some days are not as good as others, I'll admit.
When you attack a man, never attack his strong points. And my strong point is discipline. I was weaned on discipline. I sucked discipline from my mother's breast and received it on my bare butt at the age of 5 from the buckle of my father's Sam Brown Army belt. And I love that bastard for it. Because he made me strong. Damn right. He made me a leader of men. And he made me despise the weakness in myself. The weakness that can destroy a man's purpose in life. And the purpose in my life, Epstein, is victory. Moral victory. Spiritual victory. Victory on the battlefield and victory in a goddamn army barracks in Biloxi, Mississippi. That's what my daddy taught me, Epstein. What in the hell your daddy ever teach you?
Not much. 2 things, maybe. Dignity and compassion.
Dignity and compassion? You shitting me,
A piece of
Epstein?
dung would not shit a piss-drunk sergeant with a loaded 45.
Don't test me, boy. I will bury you with dignity, but not much compassion. How the hell you always taking me on anyway? I'll outsmart you, I'll last you, and I'll rank you. You know that!
I do know that, sir.
Want to know what the irony of this situation is, Epstein? Is it Epstein or Epstein?
Either one.
The irony of this situation is, Epstein or Epstein, despite the fact that you hate every discipline bone in my body, you're gonna miss me when I go. Miss me like a baby misses her mama's nipple.
Are you going somewhere, sir?
Didn't I just tell you that? Didn't I just tell you I was leaving this base?
No, you didn't. When are you leaving?
At 0700, April 3, 1943. That's tomorrow morning. Know how much you boys are gonna miss me when I go. I don't want nothing special, no gifts, you understand. Maybe you could clean a few latrines for me, but that's about it.
Where are you going?
I'm reporting to Dickerson's Veteran Hospital, Camp Rawlins, Roanoke, Virginia. Believe in gratitude, the Army's gonna replace my steel plate with sterling silver. Be able to hawk my head in any pawn shop in the country. How about that?
How long will you be gone, sir?
I just told you, you dumb son of a bitch. I'm going to a veterans hospital. They don't send you back from a veterans hospital, you become a veteran. You walk around in a blue bathrobe, listen to Jack Benny and play checkers with the other basket weavers. What I'm trying to tell you, you toilet bowl cleanser, is that my active career in the U.S. Army has been terminated.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
Don't give me none of your goddamn compassion, Epstein. Compassion just gonna buy you a Star of David at the Arlington Cemetery.
Oh, sure.
They can put 65 pounds of nuts and bolts in my head, give me a brown tweed suit and a job pumping gas, and I will still be the best damn top sergeant you ever saw in your short but sweet life, Epstein or Epstein.
I'm sure of that, sir.
Not from my room. I heard a game being played in the barracks. I heard Jerome ask each and every man what he would do if he had one last week to live. I played the game right along with him. Put my money down on the bunk just like the rest of you. Here, take my money. You tell me if I would have won that game.
The game is over, sir.
Not yet, boy. Not yet, all right? Want to know what I do with my last week on Earth?
What's that, Sergeant?
I'd like to take one Army rookie, the greatest misfit, dumbass, malcontent, subhuman, useless son of a bitch I ever came across, and turn him into a disciplined, obedient soldier that this Army could be proud of. You are that subhuman misfit, Epstein, and before I leave here, by God, I'm going to do it and pick up my $5. You hear me?
None of us actually did it. It was just a game.
Not to me, soldier. On your feet, Epstein.
Really, Sergeant?
On your feet, Epstein! For Crime has been committed in this room tonight, Epstein. A breach of Army regulations. A non-commissioned officer has threatened the life of an enlisted man by brandishing a loaded weapon at him without cause or provocation. The said act being provoked by an inebriated platoon leader while on duty. And that inebriated platoon leader, Epstein, it is your unquestioned duty to place me under arrest and report this incident to the proper authorities.
I don't think that's necessary.
And as I am also pissed, drunk, and dangerous, it is also your unquestioned duty to relieve me of my loaded weapon.
I never thought you were gonna shoot me.
Take my weapon,
What do you mean,
goddammit!
take your weapon? I'm supposed to take your weapon.
Demand it, you Weasley bastard, or I will blow your puny brains.
Okay, may I have your gun?
Pistol, shithead.
May I have your pistol?
Epstein, I give my fucking gun to anyone. Force it out of my hand.
Force it out of your
Grab
hand.
my wrist, goddammit! Do it, Epstein! Take the gun!
Blue moon.
Okay, thanks.
Please.
Look, I hear some of the guys coming back. Why don't you go ahead and get a good night's sleep and go, or whatever.
To properly charge me, you're gonna need witnesses. Call them the platoon.
The platoon? You don't want to do this in front of the guys.
Let him in, soldier!
Hey guys, you want to come in here a minute? Look, this isn't going to change anything between us. This is just as insane and illogical as before.
Maybe. But it's regulations. And as long as you follow regulations, Epstein, I win. Men! As you can see, I'm pissed at the gills and have just threatened to blow Epstein's brains out. Private Epstein has relieved me of my weapon and placed me under arrest. You are all witnesses. Private Epstein will now escort his prisoner to company headquarters to file charges and complaints. I'd just like to add that Private Epstein has performed his duty in the manner of a first-rate soldier. I'm putting him up for accommodation. Let's go, soldier. We're wasting time.
I'm not going to do that, sir. I'm not going to file charges.
Remember what your daddy taught you, Epstein? Show some dignity and compassion to a man who's going to Virginia tomorrow.
Suppose you just get company punishment, just like the rest of us?
You can handle it any way you want, as long as justice is served.
Sergeant Merwin J. Toomey.
Ho!
I will drop all charges and complaints if you drop and give me 200 push-ups.
What? Yes, Private Epstein. I accept your passionate offer. Tell me at the floor!
Hit the floor! Please.
Yes, Private Epstein.
No way. Pinch me. I must be dreaming.
Tell me to count off.
Count off!
Yes, Private Epstein. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Keep counting.
5,
Thank
6,
God!
7, 8,
Yeah, keep counting.
9, 10.
Arnold won that fantasy game fair and square because his actually came true. But in a way, they both won because, if only for a brief moment, Toomey had made Arnold the best soldier in the platoon. The next day, Toomey left for the Veterans Hospital in Virginia, and we didn't see him again. Our new sergeant was sane, logical, and a decent man. And after 4 weeks of being with him, we realized how much we missed Sergeant Toomey. One should never underestimate the stimulation of eccentricity. Daisy and I corresponded 3 times a week, and I went to visit her twice in Gulfport. And the most we ever did was hold hands. I was either too shy or she was too Catholic. Finally, we finished basic training, and I knew we'd be shipping out soon.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, your hands are cold.
Yours are warm.
Do you want to go somewhere? Down by the lake? Or by Overton's Hotel? They have dancing until midnight tonight. Let's go.
Eugene,
Or we can just walk.
I can't. I have to be back in 10 minutes. I'm not even supposed to be out now.
Are you serious? 10 minutes? I came all the way from Biloxi.
I know, but it's Good Friday.
Isn't that a holiday?
No, it's a holy day.
Oh.
It's the day Christ our Lord died. We have to abstain from movies and parties and dates. It's a day of prayer and mourning.
Doesn't sound like Good Friday to me. Sounds like lousy Friday. 10 minutes, Jesus. Oh no, not Jesus. I'm so sorry.
It's my fault. I should have let you know in my last letter. But we can make it up for next week. Can't we?
Daisy, I don't think I'm gonna be here next week. We finished basic training. We're gonna be shipping out soon.
Shipping out? To where?
Europe? The Pacific? They haven't told us yet.
Overseas? So soon.
They can't keep us here forever. We lost a private and a sergeant, and we haven't even left Biloxi. Can't you just stay out a little longer, just for tonight? Hey, I know I'm Jewish, but I'm pretty sure Christ the Lord is not going to keep it against you for
I can't, Eugene. I have to stay faithful to my beliefs.
What about being faithful to me?
I have been. I haven't gone to a single USO dance since we met. I just don't feel like dancing with anybody else anymore.
I mean that?
Cross my heart.
Don't cross your heart. Religion is always getting in the way of us. I believe you.
I think you're a very special person, Eugene. If you like, I'll write to you as often as you want.
Oh, of course I do. I want you to write me every day. And I also want a picture of you. I don't even have a picture of you.
What kind of picture?
Well, do you have one where I could feel your skin?
If I did, I wish I had one where I could squeeze your hand.
That's it. I'm going to shoot off my foot. Bye. I don't want to leave.
I'm glad you feel the same way about me, Eugene.
You know I do. I would have come even if I knew I had 5 minutes with you, Daisy. Daisy,
What is it?
I'm having a very difficult time with the words right now.
That doesn't sound like Eugene the writer to me.
Well, I'm not writing right now. I'm Eugene the talker. Daisy, what I want to tell you is that I love... God damn it, why can't I say it? Oh, I'm sorry. God damn it. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'll say 10 Hail Marys for you.
Oh, you don't have to do that for me. It won't do me any good.
Well, what is it that you're going to say?
Daisy, you know what I'm going to say? I've never said it to a girl in my life. I guess I'm scared that it'll come out wrong once I say it.
Well, say it and I'll tell you.
I love you, Daisy. Nuts came out wrong.
I've never heard it said so beautifully.
What do you mean? How many other guys have told you that?
I mean in the movies. Not even Clark Gable.
Well, he's getting paid for saying that. I'm in the business for myself.
Eugene, I remember everything you say to me. And when I go home at night, I write it down, read it over when I miss you.
Well, if you're writing in your journal, keep your lockers locked. I don't want to be the talk of St. Mary's.
Hey, it's getting late. I should get going.
You didn't tell it to me yet.
That I love you?
No, you just breathe out too quickly. You're supposed to breathe in. Prepare for it. And then say it.
Okay. I've taken a breath. Now I'm preparing for it. And now I'll say it. I love you, Eugene. We can't kiss. It's Good Friday.
You have to kiss after you say I love you. Not even God himself is going to forgive you that.
Okay. I love you, Eugene. I really should go.
Hey, wait. Daisy, Look, this is the most important moment in our lives. This is the first time we're in love. You know, after tonight, I'm not sure if we'll ever see each other again.
Don't say that, Eugene. Please don't say that.
It's possible. It's possible. I pray that it doesn't happen, but it is possible. I need a proper kiss, Daisy. A kiss to commemorate a night just like this. A night I'll never forget for the rest of my life. I'll even say 100 Hail Marys for you on the bus right now. Okay?
Okay. You better say 200 on the bus back. Oh, I almost forgot. I got this for you. It's a book.
Really? What book? I love you tasting books.
It's blank pages for your journal. And page 1 can start with tonight. Take care of yourself, Eugene Morris Jerome. Even if some other girl gets you, I'll always know that I was your first love.
There you go. You see, at that moment, I realized I was far from becoming a writer because there were no words to describe the happiness I felt in those 10 minutes with Daisy Hannigan.
Change your socks, will you? What is that? A new secret weapon? I did change my socks. This one needs to be on that foot.
Gosh, you creeps will never grow up. After this war is over, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not having any reunions with you clowns.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, put a sock in it, you babies.
Arnold, how do you spell vicissitude?
Vicissitude.
Yeah.
You don't. Leave it out. Try for simplicity. The critics will use vicissitude in their reviews.
Noted. Got it. Thank you.
Very persistent. You guys hear about Hennessy?
No, what happened?
He only got 3 months in the can. That's not so bad. After that, he's out of the war for good.
Well, you better pray we lose the war because he ain't gonna get a job after that.
Yeah. The army's nuts. You shouldn't let guys like that out. You should put them in one outfit. Call them the Fruit Brigade. Make them all nurses or something.
You hear that, Gene? We're listening to the generation that will inherit America. It's inevitable one of these geniuses will one day become the president of the United States.
Selridge.
Oh my God. Listen to this guy. Toomey's gun away and he thinks he's all tough.
I have to warn you, Wykowski. I expect to be very seasick on the troop ship. And wherever you decide to sleep, I'm gonna sleep right above you.
Hey, let's get some sleep now. This might be the best bed we see for a few years.
So far, two of my my main objectives came true. I lost my virginity, and I fell in love. Now all I had to do was become a writer and stay alive. On the first train ride to Biloxi, we were all nervous. On the train now heading for an Atlantic seaport, we were all scared. I closed my notebook and tried to sleep. When I reopened my book 2 years later, I was on a train just like this one, heading for Fort Dix to be discharged. I reread what I wrote the night Wykowski broke into my locker to see how accurate my predictions were. Roy Selridge served in every campaign in France and was eventually made a sergeant and was sent back to Biloxi to train new recruits. He has men doing 300 push-ups a day. Joseph Wykowski was wounded in Arnhem by a mortar shell. He lost his right leg straight up to the hip. He didn't get the Medal of Honor, but he was cited for outstanding courage in battle. Donald Carney, after 6 months of constant attacks by enemy fire, was hospitalized for severe depression and neurological disorders. He never sings anymore. Arnold Epstein was listed as missing in action, and his body was never traced or found. But Epstein is a tricky guy. He might still be alive teaching philosophy in Greece somewhere. He never liked anything the army way. Daisy Hannigan married a doctor from New Orleans. Her name is now Daisy Horowitz. Oh well. She sends me a postcard every time she has a new baby. And as for me, I never saw a day's action. I was in a Jeep accident my first day in England, and my back was so badly injured that the army wanted to send me home. Instead, they gave me a job writing for Stars and Stripes, the GI newspaper. I still suffer from pangs of guilt because my writing career was enhanced by World War II. But I tell you one thing, I'm glad I did not know all that the night our train left Biloxi for places and events unknown.
Oh, we ain't got a better